Next comes the Mullers method. This is a very important and requires concentration in this problem. It is really difficult for the beginners who are just starting this method. So it is a very important problem, and let us begin by the iteration formula, that is xk plus 1, which is equal to xk minus 2a2 divided by a1 plus or minus under root a1 square minus 4a0 a2. The important things that you have to remember: number 1 is the formula, number 2 you have to find out d is equal to xk minus 1 minus xk minus 2 minus xk minus 1 minus xk minus 2. So in Muller's method, they will give you to find out at least 2 iterations. So in the first iteration, you have to remember all these things, that is d, 1 by d. These are the formulas. Now how we will use this in the problem, I will show it to you now. So in Muller's method, with the question, they give you the initial values, and now we substitute this. If x0 is equal to 0, they have given the initial values, x0 is equal to 0, x1 and x is equal to half. So we have to substitute all these values in this and find out f0 values, f0, f1, f values basically. So we have got minus 0.5, 0.5 and f2 value minus 0.3750. So we have got a negative and positive value. Now substituting this in the iterative formula, xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus 2a2, it becomes, first iteration becomes x3 is equal to x2 minus 2a2 by a1 plus or minus underscore a1 square under root minus 4a2 a0 and a2. Everything remains same except for this and this. This remains same, there is no change in this. As I told you that in the first iteration we require d, so we have to find out d first. Xk minus 1, that is x1 minus x2, x0 minus x2 and x1 minus x0. Xk minus 1, xk minus 1, x1, x0 minus 1, that becomes x1. Then xk, what we found out is the last value x2, substituting like that only, x2 minus x2, 0, x2, like that we find out d. Now we substitute the values, 1 minus half, 0 minus half, 1 minus 0. So minus 0.25, which is d value. Now we have to find out a0, first iteration a0, 1 by d. I showed you the formula, fk minus fk minus 1, xk minus 2. So according to that, we get f2 minus f1, x2 minus x0, f2 minus f0, x2 minus x1. And now we substitute f2 and x0 values. 1 by 0 minus 0.25, d value is minus 0.25, and f2 0 minus 0.3750 minus 0.5, x2 value half minus 0 minus of 0.3750 plus 0.5 minus into minus, it becomes plus, and half minus 1. So 1 by minus 0.25 is equal to 0 minus 0.4375 minus of minus 0.625. Minus 0.0625. So the value of a0 is equal to 1.5. So all this is first iteration. In first iteration we have found out a0 value. Now we find out a1 value. A1 value 1 by d value remains same, that is minus 0.25 remains same. A0 and a1 are first iterations. What changes is, the only change when you find out a1 is f2 minus f1 remains same, x2 minus x0 this becomes whole square, the second part becomes whole square. Rest everything remains same. You can only make it whole square. Substitute the same thing. What changes is the whole square, that is all. So you get a1 value is equal to 1. So now we substitute a0 and a1 value in the iterative formula. So we got a0 value as, a0 value we got 1.5 and a1 value we got 1. Now we substitute in the formula. X3 is equal to half minus 2 by minus 0.375 pi under root 1.5 minus 0.3750. So we substitute it. Now we get the value minus 0.7676. Sorry, not minus, which is equal to x3 value. Now this 0.7676 we substitute in that equation, x cube minus half, and we get f of x3, that is minus 0.0477. So this is first iteration. Second iteration is in the same method, that is a3 and a4. But we will use a0 and a1 only, that is only for your understanding, because the formula changes as in the second iteration. The formula changes as x4 is equal to x3 minus 2a2, this remains same, a1 square a0 square. D is equal to x2 minus x3, x1 minus x3. According to that, first what I have showed you, xk minus 1 minus xk, you have to substitute and find out this. x2 minus x3, x1 minus x3, x2 minus x1, xk minus 1, I will show you once, xk minus 1 minus xk. So this is x3 minus 1 minus x3. So x3 minus 1 is x2, x2 minus x3. So this is what we substitute and we get d value. Now after d value we have to find out a0 value. a0 is 1 by d of fk minus 1. So f3 minus f2, x3 minus x1 minus f3 minus f1 minus x3 minus x2. Now we substitute the values and we get a0 value. Now we have to find out a1 value. A1 value will have nothing much difference, except for this becomes whole square. x3 minus x1 the whole square, in the formula it becomes square, square, square. So there is not much of a difference, and your a1 value is, substituting the same values, only whole square is the difference in a1, you get minus 0.6034. So this is the second iteration. Please like, share, subscribe and comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any problems, do comment and let me know if any problem is there in the explanation. Support my channel Math at Infinity. Thank you.